So the bike that I have here is called the VSF TX400. It's a steel frame bicycle. It's called an expedition bicycle. It's made to go around the world. What's cool about this is it's got a dyno hub on the front wheel, so I can produce power for a headlight, taillight, and a USB charger. So that's pretty awesome stuff right here. So I can plug in and charge my batteries when I need to. Baggage-wise,
show us a little bit more about the cockpit.
The cockpit itself?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I got 2 bells. They're kind of just hanging out. This is my original bell. I have had this since day one. I got this one given to me in South Dakota, but it's ironic because it's Belgium, and I went there in Colorado, so it was awesome. And then, yeah, I got the front handlebar bag, which is kind of just my accessories, my quick tools and accessories that I need, you know, the green stuff, everything that's good. But then on the front of this sign here, this is a lot of people think it's a windbreaker. It's more of just a message. And before I crashed, it was nice and clean, but it says, make a stranger smile, be the change. And that I got from an organization in Philadelphia called PMA Bike Rides. I got to go with them on one of their rides that they do, and they give out pizza. And I love the sign so much that the owner of that organization gave it to me, and I've represented it every day since. So it's been an awesome thing for that. I was given this in North Dakota. This is very important because it used to be white, but it's 22 beads. And a veteran gave this to me for 22 a day for the veterans that lose their lives every day. And I got this cool thing here. It's a padded, a pad with a thing that I got. A guy that I met in Denver made it for me with him and his girlfriend, and gave it to me as a gift. So I've been representing that, and it's cool because it's reversible. It's got hearts on the other side and a stash pocket. So all good stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it on the front end. Other than something that most people don't see on bicycles that I have is I have hydraulic rim brakes. So I have Magura rim brakes that are hydraulics. They actually work just like a regular rim brake. And they've been a great company. They've been very supportive of my journey when I am in need. So I've been very thankful for them. But the gear itself, the bags, so I got this one here. As you can see, it's got a big B on it and a T on this one. The reason why is bathroom and tools. So I don't mix them up because, you know, when you're in a stressful moment, you know, you want to just get to what you need and know where it is and don't want to forget what side you put it on. And that's my reminder for that. But the B for the bathroom stuff, that's got all my toiletries, emergency, like medical repair stuff in case I hurt myself, which I do quite often, it seems like. And then my other one's tool bag, which is tubes, a spare tire, extra patches and everything else I need to hopefully get me to the next place to do repairs if it's that serious. But yeah, it's pretty much that's the front end. It's been doing pretty well for me. I carry 3 water bottles on the bicycle, but that's not even close to all the water I carry. We'll talk about that soon. I gotta talk about this seat, man. Brooks is the best, first of all. This is my 5th seat of my journey. Within 5 miles, they told me it was gonna take 500 miles to actually wear it in. And it was within 5 miles. It was the most comfortable seat I've ever owned. And I have not worn padded shorts since having this seat. So it's pretty freeing when you think about that. Like, especially as cyclists, like you wear padded shorts, you get it. Like sometimes those are annoying. And it's like, man, but I need this because of that extra cushion. And for whatever reason, this seat just like cradles it like an egg. It's amazing, and I love it. Something that I recently did, since I have the camper now, is I have a full-size bike pump. Before this, I had 2 hand pumps, which were not fun. You know, unfortunately, it's one of those things that you have to deal with when you're on the road. But with the amount of tires I have now, it's a lot easier just to have a full-size pump. And even though it's a couple extra pounds, it's nothing compared to everything else I have. So.
And that's attached to, what was that?
This used to be a full-size flagpole. It used to go about 5.5 feet tall. It had a camera mount at the top of it. I had really big plans at the beginning of my journey when I started this in March of 2018. And so I had really big plans to like document this in like third person, like game review type thing, and try to live stream it. Unfortunately, within my first week, I was still in my own state. I got hit so hard, it broke my flagpole in half. It was a rough one.
So now it's a good pump stand.
It's a pump stand now. It holds all that stuff. It holds all my beads from Mardi Gras. It holds different things that I've been given along the way. For people that, if you get time to check this out, Jesse Strong. This is a boy that lost his life due to medical issues at a very young age. I think he was 5 or 6 years old. Before his passing, he wanted to collect toys to give to other kids that were sick just like him. And he did. And unfortunately, when he passed, his family continued his legacy by continuing that mission that he wanted to do. For the fact that, you know, he was just as sick as any kid that he wanted to help, but he was willing to help them as much as it was helping him. So it's really powerful stuff, and I'm thankful that I have that. And if anybody ever gets time to check it out, definitely check out Jesse's Toy Box. It's Jesse Strong. So, you know, things like that is really awesome. I got this made. I have a little flower star here that was crocheted for me from a friend in Florida or Louisiana. She lives in Florida now. So I carry that stuff, and I got a bunch of stickers. I don't think I didn't talk about that, but pretty much anywhere I go, if someone gives me a sticker, I stick it on the bike or on the camper, you know, represent in one way or another, either from them helping me or, you know, just being a cool group that I got to meet. So it's really cool stuff in that sense. The back bags here kind of have a little bit of everything. So this side here, I keep my casual clothes for when I'm not riding my bicycle, in case I get to hang out with people in the non-cycling environment. I also have a spare tire in here for my bicycle. I got emergency food, MRE style foods, and a little bag at the back here which carries my headlamp and batteries for that. It's my spare winter gloves, you know, when it's really cold out, and that's pretty much it in that. I have a laundry bag. I call it my dryer. It's it literally is just it's literally like a dryer. Yeah. All my dirty socks go in here, and all my dirty laundry. And if I stop at a lake or at a river or whatever, unless I find a real laundromat, I rinse them all out, clean them, and I put them in there to dry. And you know, kind of just hand turn them every once in a while for the air to flow through it. But it works out really well. And inside this bag, I have more cycling clothes. I got pickle juice for when I start cramping up. If you guys are athletic and you guys don't use pickle juice, try it out if you get cramps. It's a lifesaver for me. I also carry cycling clothes in here. It's more spare emergency food, and that's pretty much it. Cycle clothes, tubes, and tires, and yeah. And then I also got bug spray and fire starter and a good old knife that I got given to me in Virginia. So a lot of the stuff that I've been given, a lot of the stuff that I have, I've been given along the way, and either replace things that I had already, or that were really not meant for what I was doing it for. So it made it a lot easier, lightweight and stuff like that. So just replace things as I go, and then I take the things that I have and I give them to other people, typically homeless people that are in need, and I just give it to them so that they get a little bit extra, whatever it is. So try to help out, try to pay it forward, because people help me out so much.
What kind of gearing do you have on the bike, you know?
Yeah, so I have it's a 10x3. My rear cassette is 12 by 36. So it's got a good range. It's still, I wish I had more, to be honest. A lot of times it's still a good bike though. It helps out. It gets me up the mountains. It gets me up the hills. For being 500 pounds with me on it, it does a good job. And especially with, like, you can see all these different color paints here and stuff. I've had to weld my bike 5 times from hit and runs. I've had 4 of them, and one of the brakes was my own fault from crashing. But I've had to pretty much re-weld my entire rear end to keep it going, because my goal is to finish on this bicycle. And once I finish, I don't care, but I wanted to start and finish with the same bike. So it's held up right now, almost 18,000 miles. And actually, really, this bike's almost at 25,000 miles, because I'm a 3rd owner of this. So a guy that I owned it put almost like 4,000 or 5,000 miles on it. And then he bought it from a friend of his that put a couple thousand miles on it. So it's got like 25,000 miles on this bike.
And what kind of bike do you say it was?
It's called a VSF. It's a German bicycle. Its model is a TX400. It's an overall well-round bike. So yeah, that's the bike side of it. But I know everybody's more interested in seeing this thing. This thing is the mini camper that nobody else has ever seen. This is my living quarters. I built this during COVID, so I had a place to stay. I also wanted to be able to present my information still for people to know what I was doing without breaking that social distancing and all those things. So it was something that I was inspired.
So how does it connect to your bike?
So it actually connects right to it's hard to see because of the bags, but it just hooks onto the axle. So there's these bearings here that it hooks onto, and this is actually made from Surly. It's a Surly trailer that I connected to it, and so it just hooks right on. It comes off in about a minute. I just have to unscrew those little bolts, and it comes right off. I also have it hardwired in, so I have a tail light to the camper, so I got nice and bright light. I built this thing out of pretty much a wood frame with corrugated plastic and insulation on the inside. It's the frame itself that I built it on is about 50 pounds. The structure that I built is about 60, 70 pounds. So it's about 110 to 120 pounds unloaded. With everything in here, it's about 200 pounds. And we'll actually talk about what everything is in here too, but before we get to that, we'll talk about everything outside and all the things that are going on out here. Like we were talking about this morning, all these different decals that I have, they're just suicide information. You know, unfortunately, 54% of Americans have been affected by suicide, and it's the 10th leading cause of death in this country. And on average right now, thankfully it's going down, but we're about 17 veterans a day, which is still too many. And unfortunately, this number right here, 1 person every 12 minutes that commits suicide. So we try to educate people and make them realize how important it is to know this information so that we can help change that course. So, and there's more of these on the other side if you want to check that out. Yeah. There's statistics for age groups, and right now, before COVID started, we were at about 132 Americans a day were committing suicide. And just for that, so you guys have a realization for it, 25 times as many people attempt suicide every day. So that's a lot. So we're trying to get that number down. We're trying to share this information, put out the Ride with Dan USA so people can follow it, try to get the suicide awareness information. Something actually for your guys' for your followers, the ones that can see this on YouTube and anywhere else that you put it. I'm actually, this right here that you just looked on, Living Works is a start program, start.opatmovement.com. If you guys are interested, we're actually going to be giving away a bunch of courses this year through my nonprofit organization, the One Pedal at a Time movement. And so anybody that's interested in taking that course, it's an online course that takes 60 to 90 minutes. They can reach out to me or contact you, however, and we'll get them on board for this. The goal is to get that education out there so we can make suicide safer communities. And it's a $30 program that we're giving away for free right now. So if you are interested, definitely reach out. And then again, more stickers, different places that have helped me, organizations that I've had contact with, and in various ways. So it's just pieces of the puzzle of the journey, and Something I really like is this. I came up with this name. It's a ultra small camper. You always see like ultra light campers and all these like compact camper names, and you never see an ultra small camper, which is ironic because if you look at it, I made the U and the S different color. I'm on a US tour, so it's a US camper. It works out really awesome. And it's a Shadow Explorer. That's the hashtag, so you guys can actually see that on all my social media hashtags. Shadow Explorer, as a cyclist, you know how it is, especially here in Moab in the Utah area. There's no shade, and we're always looking for shade to take that next break. So this creates shade for me, even if I don't have it, and it's great. Thank you so much. Hold on one sec. Oh, no, I want to give you my card so you can check it out.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, good luck to you.
Thank you. This is state number 44 out of 48 for me.
Oh, yay.
So,
God bless you. Good job.
thank you. So then we'll show the top here. Just more stickers of different things that have helped me out, different places that I've been. You'll probably see a lot of Lander on here. And that's because I crashed my bike before I got the Lander. And thankfully Lander was very helpful and very kind and helped me out getting everything that they had that I could get.
Does that happen a lot?
Yes.
Did you just process that? Are you processing that as we continue going through this?
No, so someone asked me if I built this in Lander yesterday, I think.
With the lady giving you a donation, she was here, she was listening to us.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
It happens a lot.
Yeah, and even that where she was willing just to give some donation money to keep me going. She doesn't know that I'm not doing this with no savings.
Right.
She didn't know anything about it other than that, hearing that about suicide awareness. So that's a good person. Like, I didn't have to tell her I'm doing this with no money, that I'm figured out day by day. And that's what's so amazing about this journey is you never know what's going to happen. And you never know on the opposite side too, like us having this conversation, that person could have been thinking about suicide. And hearing this information and hearing somebody that's passionate about it and serious wanting to help people may convince them not to do it. So, and that happens a lot, and I'm thankful for it. And there's been times, even some of the interventions I've done, I was at a restaurant telling my waitress, every time I go out to eat, I don't pick my meals. So I let the server pick it. And so when I go there, I give them my card. I tell them, hey, this is what I'm doing. I don't look at menus. You get to pick for me. And then they're like, oh, well, tell me more. And so I told this lady what I was doing. And I was like, yeah, I'm running for suicide awareness, blah, blah, blah. And I get my food. And this gentleman that was sitting at the table behind me gets up as he's getting ready to leave. He comes up to me and he says, hey, I'm sorry to interrupt you. And I don't want you to think I was being rude, but I was overhearing what you were telling your waitress, and I actually came here to have my last meal before I overdosed. And you inspired me to go get help, and I just wanted to say thank you. So even though that wasn't really like a direct intervention, it was like an indirect intervention. And I'm thankful that he heard that. And, and I'm thankful that these things happen like that. Even like sitting here, and if I went to the store like I did earlier and somebody happened to pull up and say, what the heck is this thing? They're gonna see really quickly what I'm doing based off the information that's here. So it's really, it has a lot of impact, and I'm thankful for it.
It serves a double purpose. It's your camper. It's also your billboard to spread your message.
Yes. And so on this side, one sign that I haven't talked about yet that I want to talk about is this one. I got this in Fort Collins from a couple that had it in their yard. I thought it was very meaningful because, one, it's a lot of things that we're dealing with in 2020 right now, especially like with Black Lives Matter and different humans that are illegal and all that stuff. I thought this was perfect for really a big reason, and it wasn't per se to label these as individual things. These are all reasons that people could potentially commit suicide from. There's all these things: the lack of love, the the feelings that you don't belong because you're a black person, you know, feeling like because you're an immigrant that you can't come here because you're considered an illegal, you know, or as a women's rights, you know, so many women that do really, really good compared to men, but then the man gets the promotion, examples. But, you know, those are all reasons that somebody may be like, I'm not good enough to be on this earth anymore. And so that's why that's there. And, you know, water is life. You know, there's so many places in this world that we don't have clean water. We don't have that stuff. So all those things are really more so just to get people to understand that we have to take care of these things to be able to get suicide in control. So I use that as the conversation starter a lot of times. It also has given me some backlash as well, depending on the areas of the country that I've been in. Sometimes, like, I will never remove it because that's not who I am, but there's been times where I've been fearful to go to sleep at night because somebody saw my sign that was not happy about it. And you know what? That's okay. We're okay to have our own opinions, but you know, I think that as human beings, we're meant to just treat people with respect. Doesn't matter what they look like or what they are or who they are. They're still a human being. So, and that's what I try to keep it out as. And yeah, so I think that's a very important sign for what I'm doing, and even more important for the situations that have been going on this year and with everything else happening. So something that I'll have until the day I'm done this journey, one way or another, unless someone rips it off. And if that's the case, then I will get a new one. Yep. So that's the outside of it. Something that I didn't really show too much of is I got 3 windows. So I got a tinted window here, I got a tinted window on the top, and another one on the other side. Another thing I really think is cool. Trent, what do you think this looks like? My doorknob, what do you think that looks like?
Is that a tuna can?
Yes, it is. He's got the right answer. So yeah, I had to come up with something to make my door lock while I was riding. So I used a tuna can, I filled it in with wood and glue, and thankfully with my engineering mind, I was able to come up with this to lock it in place. Got a lock on the inside so nobody can mess with me. And I got some stuff on the inside that if someone does try to mess with me, I can at least protect myself. So we'll check out the inside?
Yeah, let's just start with what you can show me here before we actually
jump in.
Deeper, yeah.
Yeah, so as I said, it's all insulated. I got bubble wrap insulation over the windows to help keep the heat out so it stays cool in there during the day. I can roll them up at night so I can make sure that nobody's kind of like sneaking up on me or anything. And then vice versa, on a beautiful night, clear skies, I can roll out my window and see the stars as I go to sleep. So that's awesome. I put a string on there so I can be lazy and just use that to pull my door closed. Also to make it so that it doesn't go too far open with the wind. Another thing that I have here.
Can you roll it down?
Yeah, I got to get in for it.
Yeah, cool.
So I have a screen. You know, I have ventilation in here, so I have air that comes in. I have an exhaust that's here for that. But, you know, on a beautiful night, just being able to leave a door open or, you know, sleeping with a screen window, whatever, is really awesome. And so I came up with this thing, and it goes all the way across my thing. I got Velcro that holds it in place so the bugs can't get in. And it just really works really well. And it goes all the way down into my bed here. So, you know, I got full airflow in here, and it keeps the bugs off me. So it works out really well.
Is that the only place that air can escape? Is that the only vent that you have?
So I have a vent at my feet, which is my main air vent. That's where a lot of my air intake comes from. And then I have another one, which is my exhaust vent, which is right here. This is more just like if it's super, super hot, and I just need to get that hot air out of here and just push it through. I have a battery operated fan, which I can hang up right here, and it'll blow the hot air and kind of like flow it through. So it works out really well, but most of the time I just leave my door open and show people that, you know, even I have different markings here. So I can actually close my door at portions. So like that's portion number 1. Portion number 2 is like 5 inches open, like there. So I can have it at different angles and different spots to have different airflows or privacy. And it works out really well for that. What's cool about this is I don't carry a chair anymore because, as you guys can see, this is my chair. This is my living room. In best aspect, I use my pillow as my backrest, and I can sit in here, enjoy myself, have the quiet privacy in here. And then even if it's sunny out, if we were in the actual sun right now, I could stay pretty cool just from sitting in here. And if it's still hot, like sometimes that hot air happens, I take my fan, I got a hook on it, and I just hang it right here and just let it blow on my face to kind of cool me off. So it works out really well. And yeah, and what's awesome about it is what I'm sitting on, like, is a 3-inch foam mattress, which is technically my first bed on my journey. I had an air pad before that, and before that I had nothing. So like it's been a really awesome like upgrade for me. It's just one of those things that it's amazing to have that comfort, even if it's a 2-foot by 6-foot space. And it's been a game change for me. I don't wake up hurting anymore. I don't go to bed dreading having to get up in the mornings. I'm not riding as many miles, but I'm carrying twice as much weight. So, you know, it is what it is, but I enjoy it. I've enjoyed my entire journey. I've enjoyed the ability to pull over on a side of a road now where I couldn't set up a tent before, or go to a rest area like I'm gonna do tonight, or go to a Walmart where they don't allow tent camping. And I can pull into a parking spot and nobody's gonna ask questions as long as overnight parking's allowed. And thankfully there's a lot of places that do. And yeah, so it works out really well for me. And like the fact that like we hear about these bigger campers that are the tent campers, the foldable ones that are tents really. I call this my my RV tent, because when I go to a campground, I'm not paying an RV price. I'm gonna be getting a tent site. But if they don't have tent sites, I'm gonna be like, well, I'm in an RV, so can I stay? You know what I mean? So it works out. It's giving me a lot of more availability of places to stay and less risk of tearing my tent open or any of that stuff. And it's been amazing to have it. People say I'm crazy for it because without me on it, it's about 340, 350 pounds. And with me on it, it's about 500. So it's a lot of weight for a bicyclist. It's like the totally opposite direction than most cyclists want to go. Usually we're trying to go as light as possible. I just keep adding weight. Hopefully I won't add any more. Cause
like Liam was super lightweight.
It was funny because Liam was the ultralight. Alex was the normal cyclist. And then you got this dude, Dan, that's just like in his own category, like Alex said. So, and you know, I think that's what I love about this too, is not that I'm personally an attention-seeking person. If I could, I wouldn't. But I think for what I'm doing and for my mission and for suicide awareness, it is the most perfect thing to get that attention that I need to get that information out there. Like, even cars, like I come up to people that'll be like, man, I saw you on the road earlier or last week when I was going through. I had to stop since I saw you again. And they're like, so what are you doing? I'm like, oh, just check it out, read it all. I'll tell you about it. I'll give you my card. And so it's really cool stuff to like see how that plays out sometimes. But I noticed the difference when I was in Grand Tetons National Park. It was the first time that I stayed at a campground that I felt comfortable leaving my camper and taking my bike and going for a ride. And so I unloaded my camper. Before I did, a bunch of people had talked to me. It was great. Left the camper behind, went back to the same place. Not one person talked to me on my bicycle. So I went back, got the camper, and brought it back out, and 15 people talked to me just because they were so interested in what this was. And looking at it from the outside, you would be like, dude, there's no way a person fits in there. But when you look on the inside, it really is. It's amazing what it looks like. So
Here, let's take everyone inside.
yeah, here
Going
guys.
to the Dan cam.
Dan cam, here it is. So we're gonna start with my backrest where I sit. First things first, I have a Star Wars tapestry on the roof here.
Heck yeah.
I found this on the side of the road in Fort Collins, Colorado when I was building this. And I felt like it was perfect. It helps also hold my insulation up even better. What else? All right, so I was telling you guys I have protection for myself if I need it. I carry a machete that is stuffed into my wall in case I need it. It's not really meant for as a weapon. It's definitely more of a tool because it's a double-sided blade. So I got a saw on one side and I have a sharp side for the other one. But it's good for like, more so when I had my tent to clear a path to make sure I didn't poke a hole in my tent or get some firewood to start a fire. Now it just kind of sits here as a deterrent from people to leave me alone if I need it. And hopefully I'll never have to do that. Another thing I got, I love music. Music is like, it just fills my heart and soul. And it gives me that motivation sometimes when I'm having a bad day. I'll pop my music on and start jamming out, dancing on my bicycle like I was doing earlier today. And it gives me that little boost of energy I need to get going again. And a lot of the times, depending on the song, it's got a good like cadence to it. So like I'll just like start like pedaling to the cadence, and I'll do better than I normally do. So I have a speaker. I got a JPL speaker. I got headphones as well. Carry my flip-flops, so when I'm not wearing my shoes, I'm comfortable. But the thing is, I got more casual clothes. This is all my casual clothes that I use.
Tap the screen.
As I, more so my night casual clothes. It's not really fancy clothes or anything like that, but it works. And my socks. And then I got different cycling stuff in here, sun protection sleeves and bandanas and different things like that. I have a lot of them from a company called Junk. They donated a bunch of them to me, and they're based out of Arkansas, so they're a great company. But yeah, now when you guys look in here, you see my sleeping bag. Got a couple drinks in here, but it's 6 feet long. It's plenty big enough for me. I got plenty of headroom. I got actually plenty of headroom, so I can sit up in here. I can sit back and use this as a backrest and have my legs sprawled out like a lounge chair. There's a lot of different positions I can sit in here. I can do Indian style. When I built this, I actually fit 2 people in here. We played cards. So it can fit 2 people. I'm not going to say you can sleep very well with 2 people, but
really
if it's
like
necessary, you can make it happen. So let's see, what else do I got here? So on the top here, as you guys can see, I got a lot of stuff right here. I got a lot of stuff. My jacket for my daily after my rides, I get cold even when it's like 80, 90 degrees. But then I also have this whole side to about here is all food and ingredients and stuff like that. So I make my own food now. I got a large jet boil that I use, but I carry my own veggies. I carry dry meats and canned meats and whatever else I can to get those calories I need, which is amazing for me. I also got nutrients that I take called Kyani, which is actually right there. And what's cool about this organization is I actually sell this product as well, but I don't make a profit on it. All my proceeds go to my nonprofit. So I encourage people to take a look at it because I encourage people to take these nutrients because it helped me out a lot of the way, but it also gives the people ability to help other people by going through it. They can help my organization to help others. And then on top of that, I got this really cool sign that I really wanted to show.
Yeah, I'll take the GoPro for a sec.
Yeah. So this sign really is meaningful to me, especially with what I'm doing. I always encourage people to talk about their stories and their problems. And this sign was, I made it, and my last name is Hurd, so it's even more ironic for me. It's free listening. You know, we all need people to listen, and it's time to be heard with my last name spelling. So it's a pun to my own last name, but it's something that I really am thankful that I have, and I get to take this sign and show people sometimes. So it's definitely it's powerful. You know, a lot of people are afraid when they see that word free, but when I have this sign out, I am truly doing that, and I'm there to listen and encourage people to tell their stories, and even if they don't see this sign, be willing to tell your story. So that's my story for that. Share your story.
I love that sign. Is there any more inside? Do you want to show?
Like
you got like
yeah,
toiletries and stuff.
So yeah, I got my toiletry paper here. I got my toiletries here. I got my comb for brushing my hair, soap when I find a lake or anything, toothbrush, toothpaste. I got a Frisbee that I got from Chiba Hut in Colorado.
Excuse me.
Can we pause it for a second just to figure out what he wants?
Yeah. Good idea.
You know what, dog?
Ah.
I want to kill myself.
You do?
I do.
Why? Let's talk about it. You're not alone. You don't have to give up.
What's so much?
I understand that, man. I get that. I do. Come here.